Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another small block utility ship. This one right behind me is called the Diligent, which comes with a welding tool on the front. The welding tool is attached on via a hinge and a rotor to allow you to get into all the little tight areas and get the job done. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, the Diligent is 798 small blocks using the decorative block DLC pack. We also got a nice lot of information about it, such as PCU is block limit, and of course all the things it can do. So go and give this thing a thumbs up, move around towards the very front, we'll have a quick look around the outside. We'll go through its controls, then we'll test it out on a poor little ship that had a little accident coming down to the planet. So all the way over here, my character can now bugger off just a little bit, there we are. At the very front, this is all we can see. So what we got is a hinge and a welding tool, which is covering up our industrial cockpit. You can just about fly around in first person view, we'll see that a bit later. On the left and right hand side, some great fast spotlights to light up the darkness with some atmospheric thrusters to keep you off the ground. Atmospheric thrusters are the only form of thrusters that appear on a ship, which are only really good for a planet. If you were to move down just a little bit, we've got some landing legs to clamp ourselves down on, as well as a connector to unload anything we collect, and of course to load up the resources we need to repair the ships. Around over to here, we've got a couple of small atmospheric thrusters to help slow us down. There's our industrial cockpit. There's some lovely white, black, and orange blocks to make up the main body of this ship. As we're to move around onto the side, some more atmospheric thrusters for our left and right. Then at the very back, another connector to help dock this thing up, with a camera to actually make sure you don't damage anything while doing it. We once again got 4 atmospheric thrusters, as well as one large one to boost us around. Then moving all the way up and above and looking down, see our atmospheric thrusters being covered up by some armoured panels. And we've got some more white, black, and orange blocks. Moving towards front, that's our industrial cockpit and welder. Then coming down and underneath it, clearly see our rotor of how it's going to spin all the way around. That's our landing leg with another camera connector set up. And going towards the back, there we go. And that's a pretty brief look around the outside of the Diligent welding ship. And it looks great for how it's all been set up. It's a very small, very compact ship, should prove to be useful in survival mode. And of course, if you don't want to use this on a planet, you can just strip out all those atmospheric thrusters, replace them with ion thrusters, and use it in space. Now what I can do is just grab hold of my character, we come up to that cockpit, hop inside, and these are the controls we get. But first of all, in first person view, like I said, you can just about fly this around with the welder up in your face. So coming into third person view, on tab number 1, number 1's going to be for our batteries on and off, number 2 is going to be for our atmospheric thrusters on and off, so now we can just lift this off the ground. Number 3 is for our beacon to turn that on and off, and number 9 is going to be for a projector to project the entire ship to weld it up if it ever took damage. On to tab number 2, this is going to be for our welder and of course all the controls for our hinges and rotors. We'll start with 8 and 9. Number 8 is going to be for our camera at the back, and number 9 is going to be for the camera underneath, which is right next to our connector to help dock it up. Coming out of that and relining the camera, we're going to put it like this. Number 1 is going to be for our welder to manually weld stuff up. Number 2 is going to be to have it turned on at all time. Number 3 and number 4 is going to be for our hinge to lift it up and down and to lock it in place. So we're to press number 3, then press number 4. We can now move it all the way down and get it into the angle we want. So in first person view, that's what that looks like. And once it's roughly straight with the ship, I'll lock it in place, then move over to the rotors. And that'll do quite nicely. Number 5 and number 6 is going to be the same, so undoing that and then pressing number 6, we now spin it all the way around and get it to where we want it. In fact, I'll just have it sort of like this. That'll do quite nicely. And now we lift this off the ground, do a quick thruster test, then fly over to the Albatross and see if we can repair anything up. And of course, if you don't want to use this as a repairing ship, you can remove that thing from the front, attach on a grinder instead, and use it as a grinding ship. So relining the camera, moving forwards, we've got a nice lot of speed thanks to that large atmospheric thruster, and of course the small ones underneath it. Coming to a stop, we are a lot slower, so we will need to do a 180 to slow ourselves down in time. And it will become an issue if you were to angle the ship like this and start to move forwards. You will move uncontrollably, as you can see right here, we are moving down to the ground due to the weight of the front of the ship. Moving left, there we go, quite slow with that. Moving right. Moving down is going to be gravity based, and then moving up should be faster than everything else. We've got 4 large atmospheric thrusters to boost us up. As for gyroscope controls, this is what we get. A nice little control over this, a small hint of weight so it's not too floaty, and it certainly suits this size of ship. So now what we can do is come over to the Albatross and see if there's anything we can weld up. If not, I can just remove that from the front, attach a grinder on there, and we can start grinding up for resources. So we've got to be very careful because our front heavy. All the way down. We don't want to be tilting too far down to the ground because we will start to move forwards automatically. Because we don't have enough thrusters to stop us. All the way down to here. Slowing down just a little bit. Third person view, that's what it looks like. I'm going to come down and underneath there. See if there's anything that we can weld up. Past these blocks. I'm going to switch that on. Anything here needs repairing? I don't think so. I have a feeling all the blocks that need repairing have been destroyed. There we are, a nice job done. We now move across to this one. And then over to that one. And that's pretty much it for this ship. It's a lovely little utility ship if you do wish to use one in your world. It's very handy if you want to have a multi-tool ship, so you can just remove the one on the front, replace it with what you need. Even use modded tools such as the bucket excavator if you want to drill for a mountainside. The options are up to you. So be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around with it yourself. Highly recommend you do. And I'll be back with another video sometime soon. Bye bye.